Royale in all 3 game modes, and I know that hearing from a lot of you, sniping is the biggest part of the game you struggle with. That's why we want you all to improve on that aspect of the game, and in this video I'm going to try to take you through all the basic and advanced tips. I've compiled these from personal experience and from watching pros like Ninja and Myth work their magic. This guide's going to be universal for console and PC. There will be some things individual for console, but overall there are going to be strategies that work on all of the platforms. If you can snipe, life is so much easier in solo, duos, and squads. In solos, you're eliminating people without taking any damage, which is so vital because a lot of times who wins at the end of the game can come down to who has the most shield. In duos and squads, knocking a team member is so advantageous because then you and your team can push with the numbers advantage. An accurate sniper is a lethal opponent, so today I'm going to give you our tips on how to begin the process of becoming the Jason Bourne in Fortnite. Tip number 1 is of course practice. Before we begin, no amount of these tips are going to help you if you don't practice, and I know what you're thinking. Duh, everybody says this in their video, practice makes perfect, and you're absolutely right, and it's very cliche to tell you guys to practice, but just hear me out. When I say practice, that doesn't mean just shoot a couple times a game and play hours upon hours when you find a sniper. That means if you find 50 sniper bullets in a game, you better shoot as many of those bullets as you possibly can. It's going to take hundreds and for some of you thousands of practice shots before you're consistent with a sniper. The thing is, don't just shoot off 50 bullets. Make those 50 shots count when it comes to studying what the bullet is doing in terms of drop and distance. Practice shooting trees, limbs, bushes, and most importantly, practice drag scopes to get better at shooting moving targets. Those scarecrows around the map that pretty much always throw me off guard until I realize, wait, that's not an actual person, they make some perfect target practice. So go ahead, try to practice it out and hit those. Think of it as going to a gun range, pick one spot you want to hit, pay attention to how the distance and height affects the bullet, and then continue to make adjustments as you go along. A sniper shot is the loudest gunshot in the game. Build yourself a nice little base, fire off some practice shots, and then be ready for some of those live targets that'll be running to try to kill you. Hopefully all of your practice shots will lead to some nice 200 damage shots on the enemy, and this leads me into point 2. Visualize the snipe. Now that you're actually practicing and studying the details of each and every snipe you shoot, always remember to visualize your snipes before you take them. It's so important to understand there's a bullet drop in this game and that you have to account for that no matter what. Something that really helped my brother Josh and I is when we started to visualize it like a baseball being thrown. The bullet isn't like Call of Duty where it goes exactly where you're aiming. It has some drop to it, you throw it up and it starts to go down just like a ball. The farther you have to throw, the higher you have to aim and more arch you have to put on it for the ball to still reach that final destination. Use your mind to your advantage. As the shot gets farther away, start getting used to how high above an enemy you have to shoot from certain ranges. The scope has some very handy notches that can really help you remember where to aim. For even the longer shots in the game, you rarely have to aim 2 notches above somebody, so use that knowledge to your advantage when you're taking those long shots. This next tip is more for the beginners, and we're going to get into more advanced tips coming up soon. So first of all, always stay scoped down sight in the beginning. Now that you're taking practice, when you get in fights with real people, continue to aim down sight. To explain this a little better, eventually when you're good enough, you won't need to stay scoped in to see if your bullet really hits the target. In combat, it's a little too risky to sit and watch when you're most likely being counter-sniped at, especially in squads. But when you really start out, it's all about learning, so down the road you connect on most of your shots. You want to stay scoped in to start out so you can see why you missed your target and by how much. It really helps you learn exactly what you need to change for next time, and it's going to help you make those future adjustments when shooting. It's all about committing the sniper dynamics into your memory, so with each shot you're learning more for future reference. That being said, if someone's already staring at you with the sniper, don't just sit still and scoped in and hope he misses. Think tactically and keep strafing back and forth. The hardest targets to hit are the unpredictable ones, and that's a big part of sniping, is not getting sniped. When you get the right opportunities, take the shot and learn from it. If you need to, take advantage of game capture and playback to review over your missed shots. I know this sounds a little hardcore, guys, but this is a sniper guide and we're trying to get better. Bill Belichick became the best coach in American football history by studying film. One more quick tip: while you're still training in snipes, go for body shots. These do less damage than headshots, but they're easier to hit as you're getting used to more advanced sniping, and you're going to keep getting better and better. Out of the basics and on to settings for sniping. What sensitivity you use largely depends on personal preference and what you are comfortable with. If you use a low scope sensitivity like 0.3, I recommend you slowly start working your way up to around a 0.45, which is what I currently use. I've tested out a variety of different settings, and I found this one to be pretty perfect for following moving targets while they run. If you can get comfortable with a sensitivity even higher than 0.45, go for it. I know some people that use 1.0 and they love it, so try to get that way. It's a lot quicker and harder to handle, but once you master it, you're going to be slaying. For console players, I also recommend turning off aim assist when you find a sniper. This is going to help you really practice your shots like I talked about in my last video. When you turn aim assist back on after training without it, your shots will be dramatically improved and you're going to hit even more snipes. Getting into building, this has largely been inspired by me watching Ninja. He's one of the best players in the world and I highly recommend you guys go watch him. This is one of the biggest takeaways I get from watching the pro players. Building gives you the advantage, and that is completely true with sniping as well. Here's a look at the on-the-move build that I've seen Ninja do regularly. He places 2 stairs down side by side, builds that up another level to a total of 4 stairs, then he places 1 more stair at the top on the left. Firing off a snipe to the right, he's left with plenty of protection, and he has the height advantage. On to point number 6, you need to master the center of the snipes. So this is really key in any video game, any first-person shooter, third-person shooter, anything. You have to master where the crosshair is going to be. To really amp up your snipes, you gotta have a feel for where your sniper is pointing even when you're not scoped in. All Fortnite characters shoot the sniper on their right side. This makes it much easier to aim in on someone that's on the right side of an object than the left.